Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or can the leopard change his spots? Then may you do good that are accustomed to doing evil. That's just pretty much a paraphrase from Jeremiah 13:23. And the name of this is These Devils Ain't Gonna Change. Pretty much, I was just watching Eldar Riala's video that he did concerning some statements that were being made because Jake was coming together, and pretty much people booed him, and it pretty much got me thinking about how these devils ain't gonna change. When I say these devils, I'm talking about these Edomites, so-called white people, that whose line goes back to the Edomites of the scriptures. They're not gonna change because that's their makeup. These devils been in this country over 500 years, and they haven't changed yet. You think that there's a magic bullet or a magic phrase or something that you're gonna say that's gonna magically overnight change these devils? You're out of your mind, And Jake is not dealing with reality. Jake is just dealing with emotions. Just forget about those devils, they so desperate and wanting to get accepted that they will be willing to trim their ways. As the scripture say, why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? And it's like they don't do it for the Moabites. They don't do it for, the Hamites. They don't do it for the Elamites. They don't do it for the Ishmaelites or any of the other nations. Everything that Jake does, Jake's whole energy is all about pleasing the so-called white man, these Edomites, and once and for all getting their acceptance. Because Jake doesn't feel validated unless Esau validates them, or puts them on a pedestal. It's not enough, that the Most High is a so-called black man, Yahweh Shai is a so-called black man, that they validate them, as long as they come back to who they are and leave off from their iniquities. It's not enough there. We're out here in the streets, teaching and saying that we are those peculiar people, that special treasure unto the Most High. It's all centered around Esau. And until Jake gets accepted by Esau, they will never feel that they have any real value, in this society, in this world. And I'm here to tell you that these devils are never going to accept you. When you go back to Genesis 25, the origins of Jacob and Esau, which is the origins of the so-called white man, there was a struggle in the womb of Rebecca, a so-called black woman, because the two spirits of those two babies that were inside that woman were created to fight one against the other. And never in the history did the Lord say that Jacob and Esau were going to get along. Those are the two opposing forces of the world, the forces of good and the forces of evil. And anyone trying to change that is pretty much a person that is not of the sound mind. Scriptures about being sound, and they're not sound at all, because what they're doing is they're trying to get affection and love from an individual that is affectionless. The scriptures tell us about taking care of a beast, and the scriptures also tell us that the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So if his tender mercies are cruel, that means that this motherfucker ain't got an ounce of affection, an ounce of care. They're demonic robots, pretty much. They're demonic robots set up to do what they do, to be the wicked. And here it is, you think that by some miraculous reason, you're going to say a particular phrase or do a particular thing or be more prolific than any prolific Jake leader or revolutionary or, someone that stood up for Jake back, since the inception of this country, that you're going to say something that hasn't been said, and automatically it's going to cause these devils to change. Scriptures say, may you do good that are accustomed to doing evil. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. And this is where Jake is faltering at. And especially those Jakes that's in that plantation Christianity that are hell-bent on trying to save who? The so-called white men, these Edomites. They ain't out there campaigning for the Moabites. They're not out there campaigning for the Ishmaelites or the Edomites, or the Japhetic people, so-called Polynesians, or any other nation out there. Who are they campaigning for? This goddamn devil. Because that is their God, And when you tell them that the Most High is a so-called black man, according to the scriptures, Daniel 7, 9 chapter, where it tells us that the Most High's hair is made of wool. Revelation, the 1st chapter, where it tells us Yahweh's hair is wool, white and woolly, the hair on his head, and that his feet were as burnt brass, They don't want to accept that. As long as they're accepted by Esau, then they feel comfortable. Then they feel validated. Then they feel special. And that's all Jake wants. Jake wants a hug from the goddamn devil that have done all these injustices to us. Jake just wants to be accepted by him. And that's what the scriptures say, why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? Here it is. We're the greatest people on the planet Earth. We're the downtrodden. We're in the ghettos and the slums. We have it the worst than anyone else, But yet, our people are the strongest. Our people in this condition, do the most extraordinary things that the other people cannot do, But yet, you're trying to seek, acceptance from a person that is the most inferior person on the planet. They are the most inferior person on the planet. They can't do shit pretty much. All they do is steal. All they do is culture vulture. All they do is rob, rape, murder for whatever they have. They can't create anything. All they do is waste. All they do is kill. All they do is destroy. John 10 and 10. But here it is, the brains of the operation that have been conditioned to believing that you're nothing. Here it is, you're the one that's really in the forefront. You're the one that's really special, and you're trying to get accepted by a nobody. This shit, when you really sit down and really analyze it and think about it, there's got to be a force that's blinding these Jakes to not get it, because it's so clear, and these devils make it so evident. Even through their phony smiles and all that, they make it so evident, But still in all, Jake doesn't see that. So for these dudes that's trying to get this devil to change and accept you and trying to recognize your plight, trying to recognize our plight, our struggle, the shit that we go through, be it a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian, the real Israelites, mind you, you're insane. You're insane for trying to do that, because these devils don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about none of us. They don't even care about themselves, But Jake is going to continue, to march, to sound that violin that Esau is never going to hear. Scriptures speak about these devils charming never so wisely. Here it is, you got the prophets out here breaking down the scriptures the right way, telling them what the judgment is, telling them what's coming. You think for 1 minute that you think they're gonna say, you know what? You're right. You know, the prophets out here, they breaking things down right. But instead of them listen, which they're not, what do? They send agents, they send infiltrators, you know, to try to overturn what we're teaching. You know, so that should let you know that these devils are not going to change. They've been in this country for over 500 years. Look at the miseries, the atrocities, the slaughters, you know, and everything that they've committed here in this society, on this side of the world. And they haven't changed in over 500 years. You think you're going to change them overnight? You think you got that magic spell, that magic word that's going to, you know, automatically make them see clarity? No. They're the deaf adder that stoppeth her ears. You know, they're not going to listen. They're not listening to the prophets. What the fuck makes you think they're going to listen to you? Because in all reality, Esau just views us as nobodies, as minions, as servants, as peasants, you know. But truly and factually, in all reality, we are the royal people. You know, that royalty, you know, that's just in exile right now. And the time is coming where that change is going to come, you know. And no longer are we going to be suffering this bullshit that we're suffering out here, you know. All these injustices are going to be brought out. They're going to be wiped away by the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Not by you marching and talking shit and trying to be accepted. All that acceptance, those acceptance speeches are just falling on deaf ears, you know. And this is why, no matter what you do, it never changes. The situation never changes. The only thing that changes is time, you know. But the actions of what's been done to us is always going to be the same until the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai comes and delivers us. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner your mind will be at peace. That's what Yahweh said, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, meaning mentally free. Because we're not going to get physically freed up from this place until Yahweh Bashem Yahushai comes back to deliver us. You know, and this is what Jake doesn't get. And no matter how many, the same way that they're trying to get Esau to understand their plight and accept it, is the same way we teach the word and they do not get it. You see? It's a vicious cycle. So they're trying to get Esau to accept them, and we're out there teaching the word so that they can get it, so they can understand what's going on, you know, to hang on to hope, and they push it away just like Esau pushes away everything that you try to do to get accepted by this devil. So these devils are not going to change, man. They've been here over 500 years. If they haven't changed by now, something should click in your brain and say, nope, these devils haven't changed. They definitely are not going to change, you know? Here it is, 2020. These devils got here, what, 1492? Over 500 years. And they haven't changed. That means they're not going to change. If you haven't seen a change by now, you will be a fool to wait and try to expect something different. And that's a true definition of insanity. You know, trying to do the same thing or in different ways to get a different result, but then the result always ends up being the same, no matter how many different ways you come at the problem. And the only solution is for this place to be destroyed, taken out of here. We, as a people, being set back up into power, under our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, in a new earth and new heavens where dwells righteousness, you know, and then have these same nations that put us in slavery, put them in captivity, set the world back up into order, and eventually, after these devils serve their punishment, then eradicate them. You know, grab them all up in a bundle, as per Obadiah 1:18, and burn them up. And then, and only then, will they really be good. You know? Because other than that, they're not going to change. Their mechanism, their DNA, their minds, their spirits are wired to be wicked, are wired to be against us, you know, and there's nothing that you could do to change that. You're a lunatic and insane if you think you can change this devil. You know, this devil is a demonic robot set on the earth for the purpose of chaos, you know, until the Lord gets tired of looking at him and his prophecies are fulfilled and the Lord brings the ending to this devil. He put him up, he's going to bring him down. You know, he made him the devil, he made him the wicked, and there's not a goddamn thing you could do to change that. You know, and the sooner you come to grips with that, the sooner, you know, you can mentally be at rest. Other than that, you can forget about it, you know. So with that, you know, I pray that you brothers have been edified, you know, just something I was thinking about, you know, and I just wanted to commit it to video, and hopefully it'll be edifying to the elect out there. And the rest of you, hey, I don't know what to tell you. You know, just await your destruction. At least you repent and the Lord have mercy on you and open up your mind to accept the message. Shalom.